Good evening, everyone. It was really wonderful to see everyone out to listen to all the candidates. I'd like to start by thanking Phyllis for the wonderful prayer to start our evening off in a good way. I'd also like to thank Laurie Bonfoy and Misty Smoker for nominating me and for showing confidence in their nominations. My name is Paula Acoose. At last night's candidates forum, I highlighted some of the work that I've been working on this last term with respect to our HR manual, the Financial Administration Act, and all of the number of claims that have been resolved or are in the process of being resolved. But tonight, what I wanted to do was to talk a little bit about what has motivated me as a person, my history, my education, and my experience. I was born at the Broadview Indian Hospital and raised on Saguenay. I attended the Maryvale Indian Residential School until grade 9. And then I was actually the very first graduate from Saguenay, Grenfell High School. So that was, and we'd been sending students there for a number of years, and I was quite shocked when I was told that I was the very first graduate from grade 12 from Grenfell High School. I attended First Nations University of Canada, which was called back then SIFC, where I received my degrees in Indigenous Studies. Attending FNUC really started my journey. There I was immersed in knowledge about First Nations people. I never learned anything about my people at Maryvale Indian Residential School, nor at Grenfell High School. So this was a very eye-opening and enlightening experience for me to learn about my people and the history. At FNUC, I learned about our historic and current injustices and the problems we face and continue to face, about our inherent and treaty rights. After graduating from FNUC, I have spent all of my professional career in the service of my people. This included working for over 20 years with the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations as the Director of Education there. I also worked as the Director of Lands and Resources and the Director of Policy Development and Research. And I was also a researcher in specific claims. I've also worked with tribal councils like Wild Hills Capel Tribal Council and with numerous First Nations as a contractor. All of these positions have focused me in supporting, promoting, and working toward reestablishing our governance systems, renewing our nation-to-nation relationship with Canada under treaty, and advocating for our inherent and treaty rights. The knowledge I have gained has brought with me to my work for Saguenay. I have used the knowledge, the experience, the understanding that I have gained through my education, through my work, my career work with First Nations, to work on quite a number of other things, to lobby government to increase our funding for the band, to pursue things like our new school, assisting in helping and bringing back the new school, which we hope to see constructed in a couple of years, the infrastructure projects and so forth. So it's up to council to do this lobbying, because nobody's going to do it other than ourselves. I use my writing skills to draft proposals for grant funding. I've been successful in writing proposals and submitting them for the consultation work that we've been undertaking on the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, and also on the onshore pipeline review, as well as the pipeline abandonment review. That's with the Canada Energy Regulator. So it's very important for us to be involved in these types of things, because if we don't present our position to government, government will railroad our rights. So it's up to each of us as members and as leadership to stand up and present our positions and make sure that government understands where we're coming from as treaty people with inherent rights as well too. I've also used my analytical ability to question government about when they propose new policies, and the previous speaker spoke about Bill C5, the Canada Act, which we're presenting a position to Canada about our rights under the United Nations Declaration. So we'll be submitting a proposal or a position paper to Canada on that. So all of these types of things that I talked about are very important also for the leadership to stand up and defend what we have and who we are as the first people of this land. That we have a nation-to-nation agreement with Canada, with the British Crown, that we have to ensure that they uphold their promises as we are upholding our promises to them when our ancestors adhered to Treaty Number 4 in 1874. I also remind you the 151st anniversary is coming up in September. So I encourage you to all attend that on the week of September 15th. I say all of this because it is really extremely important for all of us to understand our treaty rights to health, our treaty rights to education, and all of our other treaty rights that people don't talk about. Also our treaty annuity rights. You've heard the settlements on our annuities claims. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done by leadership, because the communities are the rights holders. It's not the FSIN, it's not the Assembly of First Nations, it's not the tribal councils, it's the communities and the people that are the rights holders. So it's up to your leadership to stand up for the rights that you have. I also believe we need to understand and uphold our rights as a people and as individuals, to govern ourselves out from under the Indian Act, because the Indian Act is not treaty. It does not reflect treaty at all. And people seem to misunderstand that the Indian Act is treaty. It is absolutely not. We have our right to belong to our community. We also have the right to maintain our culture and identity. And there were a number of speakers who I listened to very intently who had some very good words tonight about maintaining our culture and our language and our identity as people. So I want to say that I'm also a very proud Anishinaabe, and I'm also a very proud member of Saguenay. All of this has made me very strong in my beliefs in defending our rights and continuing to motivate me. It also always continues to motivate me in the work I do for Saguenay, and the hope I will continue to do for Saguenay. I also want to extend the best wishes to all the other candidates who stood up here and the others that will be standing up here to make their positions known. And they're very good words. I learned quite a bit, and I can understand their commitment to what they want to do, as I have a commitment to what I want to continue to do for Saguenay. So thank you very much for your patience in listening to me, and I humbly request that a vote for me. Miigwech.